Okay, hello, Mr. Lee here. Let's do some unit circle questions with radians. All right, so just in case you don't know what a radian is, it's a different unit for measuring angles. All right, so your unit circle, we've learned it in degrees, right? 0 degrees all the way counterclockwise back to 360. You can also measure it in radians, and the most common conversion is when you hit 180 degrees, that's what we call pi radians, right? So if I start at the positive x-axis again, I measure 180 degrees. That's also pi radians, different unit for degree. Sorry, different unit for angle measures. And then if you go full revolution to 360 degrees, that's 2 pi. Okay, and then around the circle, we're just breaking up the pi and 2 pi's into their appropriate fractions. Okay, so we'll see some problems and then probably talk a little bit more about the fractions as they come up. All right, so first problem here. What's the value of the y-coordinate of point A? Okay, so y-coordinate is related to the sine of that angle. Okay, they're giving us a little measure here of pi over 4, right? So if I start from the positive x-axis, I have to loop around here. This is going to be pi over 2 radians, another pi over 2, another pi over 2, plus an extra pi over 4, right? It might help it to see it over here. Pi over 2 plus another pi over 2, that's at pi, plus another pi over 2, we're at 3 pi over 2. So 270 degrees is the same thing as 3 pi over 2. And then we're adding an extra pi over 4, so we're in this 7 pi over 4 position, right? I'm reading the radian measures on this part of the circle, right? Okay, so point A is at 7 pi over 4 in terms of the angle measure in radians, and we wanted the y-coordinate, which we know is the sine of that angle. So sine of 7 pi over 4 should be our answer. Okay? So I'll do a full round here. Let's do all 4 questions. We have points A, B, and C plotted on the circle, which the coordinates is equal to sine of 4 pi over 5. Okay, so we have some standard default angle measures for radians here. We do not see 4 pi over 5 directly on here, but we can use our fraction knowledge, right? Think of it as like 4/5 pi, right? So that should be a little bit before you reach pi, and it's 4/5 of it, okay? So you can kind of picture it. If pi is 180 degrees, it's half a circle, right? So just try to imagine where 4/5 is going. You're gonna go about here, 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5. You're still in this second quadrant, okay? So it should be in this second quadrant. The only option we have is point A here, okay? So point A has the position of the 4 pi over 5 angle in radians, right? It's a little bit before your pi radian measure. Okay, so A is the position, and they wanted the sine of that angle, so we just need the y-coordinate of point A. All right? Okay, for each point in the circle, select the angle that corresponds. So this is good fraction practice, right? So which of these is closest? The only radian measure that's less than 1 is, less than 1 pi is this one, right? This is over 1 pi, over 1 pi, over 1 pi, right? And pi over 6 is actually also a default angle in the unit circle, so it's right here. So A should be pi over 6. Okay. B should be a little bit above pi. So which is the only one that makes some sense here? Probably 8 pi over 7. 7 pi over 5 is also a little bit above pi, right? If we go fifths, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 pi over 5 is probably closer to here, right? Versus your 8 pi over 7, let's break pi into sevenths. We're just estimating here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? You could also think of it as like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, back to 2 pi. So 14 pi over 7 would be 2 pi. 8 pi over 7 is about here. Okay, one more. So option C. It has to be 5 pi over 3. We said 7 pi over 5 is probably around here. Okay, let's just confirm 5 pi over 3. So let's break this up into thirds now. Right? So again, fraction practice, you're gonna relate it back to, I like to relate it back to your pi because that's like a whole, right? Whole pi. So this is pi 180. So if I break it up into thirds, we need thirds, right? Yeah, if we needed thirds, we'll go 1/3, 2/3, 3/3, which is 1 pi, and then 4/3, 5/3. That's also one of the default angles on your unit circle reference. There we go. Okay, one more. Which of the coordinates is equal to cosine of pi? Okay, so let's figure out where the pi angle measure is, right? That should be right here at 180 degrees. So the negative x-axis is going to hit point C. So it should definitely be either the x-coordinate of point C or y-coordinate of point C. We have the cosine of pi. So then we need the x-coordinate, right? That's it.